Yo, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the internet and back to my little personal channel. I got a craving to make a video on this topic today because entering on an emergency passport and traveling in general on an emergency passport is a very, let's say vague, gray area type of thing. There's not many solid resources on it. And if you search on the internet, you're going to find a bunch of garbage. And that in particular is what makes me make this video. So if you see that type of, let's just call it garbage, you won't fall for it. It's just basically all these, I don't know why. But anyways, there's people online, and in an effort to kind of look credible, they will just, spit out answers and things that they don't actually know about and have no experience with. And I don't know why some people do that and use their time. But this is a first-hand, definite 100% experience with traveling on an international passport. Now, when I got the emergency passport, keep in mind it was an American emergency passport that I obtained from the embassy in Berlin because my other one got stolen from the hotel I was staying at. When they gave it to me, they heavily told me, hey, this is mainly just for going home. You're not going to be able to get into all of these countries. And they listed them off. It was a bunch of them. And I was like, okay, sure. I mean, yeah, I believe you, but I already have the ticket. It's not like I'm not gonna at least try to get on my flight, right? It's not gonna cost me anything, and if I get lucky, I get lucky and I get on, which is actually what happened. Not once, not twice, but thrice, including countries. They're just, I don't know. It frustrates me because when people give bad information on what you can and can't do on an emergency passport, if you listen to bad advice, that will cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how much you've paid for flights and stuff. So that's what really bothers me about it. If someone doesn't know something, why can't they just say, I don't know? Why is that so hard to say? I don't know. I don't know why. But anyways, so from Berlin, I actually first flew to Turkey. And I know I made a separate video about how I got into Turkey because getting into each individual country is like an accomplishment in itself on an emergency passport. But this part is how I got into Malaysia because each country is different. They'll do it different. They have their own regulations. They don't care how many countries you were in or if the rest of the world, no, it's just all case by case, country by country. Now, I flew from Istanbul into Kuala Lumpur, and it was an Air Asia flight. And I do think the airline actually has something to do with it because some airlines will just reject you, while other airlines flying the exact same route, exact same destination to destination, starting point to ending point, will say no. So yeah, if you get declined at one airline, try other ones. There's for some reason, yeah, they can be completely different. So yes, when I landed in Kuala Lumpur off the flight, okay, yeah, get actually boarding that flight from Istanbul. I don't want to skip over that part. Was I'm gonna say it wasn't that difficult, and I say that because it doesn't stand out in my mind like the other two. Boarding from Berlin to Istanbul was difficult. I barely got through, and boarding from Kuala Lumpur to Bangkok was very difficult. I actually got rejected and missed the first flight, and had to go and book another one through some special process, some nonsense. So between those three, the Istanbul boarding was the easiest. And since it doesn't stick out of my memory, there was no huge friction. So I was able to get in, get on. It was an Air Asia flight, and I was going into Malaysia. Now, if you check online about entering Malaysia on an emergency passport, most of the answers you will see are going to be like, no, you can't do that. It says here, here, here on this regulation that, so there's a bunch of I don't know, whatever you want to call them, spammers, wannabe information suppliers, etc., who are just, putting up a bunch of bad info. But there's probably a few you'll see, a minority that are like, hey, yeah, you can do it. Or actually, I did this. If you're looking through Facebook posts, which I kind of like for this type of topic and information. When I landed in Kuala Lumpur, I wasn't actually planning to go into Malaysia. The problem happened that my connecting flight was in a different terminal. And in order to get to that terminal, you have to exit immigration and re enter immigration. That really annoyed me because at some actually, at most of the airports I've been to, you can go to your connecting flight. It doesn't matter, and you don't have to exit immigration and do it again. Especially if you're on a tight connection. Like, who on earth? I don't know why they designed the airport like that. The other problem it led to is that I had to basically check in again, and at the check-in counter is where I had a problem going onward from KL. But okay, let's just focus here on entering Malaysia. Yeah, so I wasn't even planning to enter Malaysia, and they let me in. So I got in, no problem. And mainly, I was just trying to transfer, and that's the reason I had to do it. They denied me for the next flight. So I was only in Malaysia for like a few hours. Basically, when I thought I was just going to be, smoothly transferring to another terminal, then I got, declined at the check-in desk, and then I had to walk around and figure out. I had to talk to people, ask for help, buy another ticket, wait for the next flight, etc. It was only a total of a few hours. But going in, like stamping me in, was no problem into Malaysia on this red passport. I wish I still had it. Then I could, flash it up on the screen. But it was just a red passport. It said emergency on, big letters in the front. So if that happens to you, or if there's anyone out there who encounters a similar situation and you're looking to go to Malaysia, don't worry. I mean, nothing's guaranteed 100%, but you can only really factor in real life experiences. Most of the stuff you see online, in these Facebook comments, those aren't people who actually tried entering Malaysia on an emergency passport. So keep that in mind. One true story is worth more than 100 fake ones, right? Anyways, guys, that is the main thing for today. This video, mainly informational, mainly for travelers, very niche, super niche for anyone else who might end up in that situation. But I wish, I would have read into this video when I was, poking around, call it researching online the night or two before my flight. And I think that's the reason I make a lot of the small videos that I do make, is because it's like a video that I would have wanted to see, that I thought would have been nice. Anyways, guys, what's going on? Hope everyone is doing well. I'm just here chilling in Jakarta, actually. And soon I will be going to Tokyo, is the next destination. I got a lot planned over there. But hey, I have a main channel. It's called Saulist, Saulist. But this video, I don't want to put all the videos on the main channel, so I just put this one on my personal one. Anyways, if this helped you, please leave a like, leave a comment, some interaction with the video, so I can know that it helps someone and that I didn't make this video in vain. But other than that, hope everyone out there is doing good. As always, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon. Adios. Woo! Okay, where's the stop button? Close. Oh, this is going to be the longest outro ever. All right, guys, forgive me. There's no way that I cannot find the stop button on it. Okay, there's a live button. Oh, end stream. End stream. Okay, top right corner. Sure. It's been a while since I streamed. There we go.